What up, everybody? I mentioned on social media a couple times actually that I had a lot of thoughts about 2XKO, and I wanted to do a big yap session where I go over all my feedback from playing the game. I played it 8 hours a day, all 11 days of the last test, and then I played it like 8 hours a day this test. The game is super fun. I'm a big fan, obviously, but I have a lot of problems with this version of the game. Like I think a lot of people do. The TLDR from me is that this version of the game, the core ideas behind these changes, I think are a lot better than the way the version was before. But the execution of it, like the tuning, is like really off. So I think the game feel for a lot of people was a lot weaker for that reason. I have some pretty meaty thoughts about it today. It's gonna be a bit of a lecture, but I figure we should do some of the other parts of the game first because they wanted feedback on a bunch of different things. So they showed off the new fuses. They have Sidekick and Juggernaut. I think that this game at its core is a tag game. It's like a 2v2 game, right? But offering ways to like engage with that or like dip your toe in the water is cool. I don't think Juggernaut was like too powerful. Like I think it's probably not good for the game if Juggernaut is the best way to play it because then it's a 1v1 game and you're just ignoring all the 2v2 mechanics that they built. But I thought like Juggernaut Alawi was really scary because Alawi has anti-projectile on her own. She has like the tentacles to cover tech rolls and stuff on her own, and she's just like a big hard-hitting character. Like Juggernaut Alawi was really scary actually. And I thought Sidekick was really fun. Having a dedicated assist character, kind of like playing a versus game where like your second character, you already don't know how to play them. So instead of just like playing them and losing with them, you're like, I'm just literally not going to play them and just give my main character more health and just call assists and stuff. Captain Commando comes in Marvel 2 and they just stand there because he's like, well, he sucks. It's like that basically. Like you just give up a character so that you can have a cool assist. You get DHC with it as well, which I think is cool. I like the idea behind them. For visual stuff and music stuff, I like where the new assist cooldown thing is at the center of the screen. I really like the new lobby music. So last time there was only like one lobby theme, right? This time I thought the lobby music was super chill. And I thought the new Ari theme was like way better. Jinx's theme was cool. New stage theme was like really cool. I like the music in the game in general. It was really quiet though. Yeah, I thought the music this time was more quiet than in the mix than last time. I wonder if that was on purpose or on accident or whatever. I really like the skins as well. The Braum Knight skin, I don't know if you guys saw it, but when he does his level 3, the Poros that come out are also wearing Knight outfits. The one thing about the visuals that I thought was weird is the KO effects were a little, they're like PNGs or something. Like the KO effects were a little weird. I actually really like the pool party KO effect. And I thought it was really cool when I played with like duos with people and I had it on and they did not. And when I got the kill, it did the cool KO effect. And when they got the kill, it did not. And you can equip it per character, which I also thought was cool. But yeah, they definitely look a little untreated. The supers got a lot of treatments. Like a lot of them look new. Like Braum has like a mountain in the background of his. A lot of them are like not that cool yet. Like I still think Echoes is kind of plain, but like a lot of the supers look a lot better. But it definitely makes you notice that they got better at doing them as time went on, and like the older character supers don't look as cool. I like the way the game looks. There's some things about it that are a little odd, like the way they snap to idle and stuff, but I actually don't mind. But I play NRS games, so my opinion about animations don't matter. The next thing is progression, and I'll say this, I played the game probably close to 30 hours, and I had enough currency to buy like one color by the end of the test. If that's true for the final build, people are going to be pissed. That can't be right. 30 hours of gameplay to unlock one color is so much, especially in a game where like people are going to want to use their currency up front to like buy a color for a character they think they're going to want to play. They like end up not wanting to play that character, and then like, you know, you got to play another 30 hours to unlock another color. I really hope they mention they're going to have like an offline tournament mode. I think the offline versions of the game should like give you every color unlock so that you don't have this problem of like every single person is color 1, color 2. I also only made it to like mastery like 15 out of 100 or something with Echo, which I don't know how long they want you to play the game to like get mastery, but 30 hours in a character, he's got more hours in the game than most people have. Yeah, I was not anywhere close to the end, which is, they probably want that to take a while. I'm cool with that. But yeah, I think color unlocks maybe, or like giving you coins to unlock colors through the master progression would be nice. It seems like the progression is a bit slow to me. And I hope that unlocking characters is really fast too, because my big problem playing multiverses, I think that game's gameplay wasn't the most fun, but I was having a little bit of fun. And then I was like, let me try playing another character. And then I realized I was like, I had to play this shit for 2 months to unlock another character. That just killed it for me. You know, I was like, dude, the unlock speed is like so slow that if I want to try another character, I'm owned. If I don't like the next character I try, I'm extra owned. Yeah, if that's the kind of progression system, people are going to burn out real quick. It shouldn't be a chore to unlock colors for your characters, you know? Other stuff, Jinx and like all the character adjustments. Jinx is awesome. They did a great job with her. She's super fun. She has some zoning, like jump back, low rocket, and ground rocket are pretty solid. Rocket jump, pretty cool. She made every throw a combo, which is like very, very powerful and really fun to do. The way Chompers and the monkey work, where she can hit them and then adjust the ranges that they get sent, are awesome. Like you can kind of like whiff cancel essentially, right? Normals into each other off of her things, mix people up by like doing a launcher and jump canceling the launcher. Even though you're not hitting your opponent, you're hitting the monkey or the chompers. That kind of stuff is really unique. The coolest thing I did, it was off stream. I really am sad. It was like the last night I was playing Yasuo Jinx. I did like chompers. I tagged into Yasuo and I did crouching M, stab, stance, dash in, chompers, bites, stance, and then shing, and I just hit the medium and like did a combo off of it. And I was like, oh, like using Yasuo's normals to juggle the chompers into them was like really cool. And I found like a setup in the corner where it covered forward roll or back roll or like tech in place. And then you could mix them up off of it because you had like block string pressure. Jinx is like, she's awesome. The only complaints I have about her, all of her supers leading to air tech is really bad for her because you could abuse that so easily. I would just like tech forward, call my assist on the ground and then just go, and then instantly I'm like hitting her and I'm mixing her like after her super, you know. She can't set up in a reliable way after that like feels like she's safe. It doesn't feel good for her. Obviously Windwall is really cheap against her. I started getting better at that matchup, but I think like the fact that Windwall just owns projectiles is like a thing. I don't think it's like the end of the world. One thing I wish is that before, something I would do with Braum is like toss the Poro over the Windwall to like hit the Yasuo player and stuff. And I tried to do that with her Chomper. Can we like make it so that there's like a dead zone above it so that I can stuff over it? But yeah, I agree. It is cool that Yasuo can jump and do air, judgment cut, and then like ignite it. So I don't want him to lose that. But maybe for blocking properties, it's a little too high. I don't know. But anyway, I don't mind that much that Jinx gets owned by Yasuo because she's just really fun. I think Echo still feels great. He's really, really fun to play. I have some thoughts about hard knockdown and how he interacts with the system. Really, if you want to get hard knockdown with him, generally, you're spending an assist or super, which I don't think is the end of the world. Like the idea behind his character is that it's harder for him to get hard knockdown, but his immediate reward off of hard knockdown is very high. And he does have ways to solo hard knockdown sometimes situationally. Some other characters get it for free. Like Yasuo can just do it. Darius just gets it. But I don't think it's the end of the world that like by design it's harder for him to get it. Same thing with Jinx. Her way of hard knockdowning, my understanding is charge H, but I couldn't really find good ways to do it ever. I don't think she has like a good way to do it basically at all. You just have to have the other character do it for her. I wish that every character kind of had like a thing they did that hard knockdown though, so that you could access it more consistently with some characters, but the disparity doesn't bother me that much. I think Alawi is the other character that didn't get hard knockdown easily. It didn't really matter. Alawi was a lot better in this version because tentacles cover tech really well. She can call her regular assist when dead. Before you could only do supers. Very powerful. It's a lot better for her. The character feels a lot better. And the system changes make her feel a lot better too, I think. Braum can get hard knockdown when he wants. Ahri gets it on accident. She just fucking exists and hard knockdown happens. I think new Ahri, by the way, she feels so much better now. Zipping around the screen, doing 12 air actions over and over and over, like flying around. I think the character vision is like much closer to where she should have been, like way better than what she was before, where she was like a fireball bot and like not cool. Now she's like doing air stuff, being obnoxious. Like that's much closer to the game feel I think she's supposed to like possess. She's like a lot better, and she has some of the only good high-low mix-up in the game basically in this version of the game. Darius to me is still doing Darius stuff, still powerful. He's the same man. Braum was actually literally the unkillable Demon King. Covers retreating guard like the best in the game. Obscene in like every way. His damage is like crazy. They nerfed his command grab combos, but he gets like free unbreakable from it anyways. He's got 1,000,000 life. He recovers it all. He was like the raid boss in this version, which I think Braum and Alawi were the worst two characters in the last version. He probably needed some love. But yeah, he's a fucking beast in this version. He's very, very scary, especially his anti-projectile stuff being so strong. I think Strike Throw is really powerful in this version because you can't push block a command grab. So like, he felt a lot better for that reason as well. I think Yasuo is the all-rounder who's good at literally everything. I think he felt incredibly strong in this version. I don't think in like an obnoxious way besides Windwall. Windwall is like the thing that really stands out. But I think like having a tool like that in the game is cool. Like a lot of the moves in this game have a lot of utility. It's going to be polarizing. People are going to boot up with Jinx, fight a Yasuo and be fucking pissed. But that's how League of Legends is. So yeah, I think the characters are in a cool spot. I don't have a lot of complaints about the characters generally. Oh, lobbies. I like the regular lobby a lot. Casual lobby to me, I boot up the game. You just start getting this fucking chill lobby music and you're just doing this. You're like, all right, it's a good vibe. You play some games, the matches get found really, really quickly. Like the lobby is chill. Ranked lobbies. I think most people know that ranked lobbies is something that people are very hesitant about to begin with. This alpha was a really bad way to test ranked lobbies because it was a compounding problem. I call it the Guilty Gear Strive East Coast Tower problem. Not very many people want to play ranked because they're playing a test that's only 3 days. When you would jump into ranked, there'd be like 2 people. And then you'd be like, oh, there's not really anybody in ranked. I should just leave and go play casual. I think having ranked in a lobby anyway, like Strive, is just already asking for trouble But then when you have that problem on top of it, it gets very, very bad. When the game is globally released, those lobbies will be full. There'll be people to play, and like this won't be a problem for testing it, but it will still have the same pitfalls of current ranked lobbies. You could go into a lobby and then see who's in there, dip, and then try to get like a new instance that has like other high ranked players that I think I could beat. It limits the pool of players to like a smaller group than like if you were just playing worldwide. They mentioned that like ranked lobbies were going to be able to match you with people even outside of the current lobby you're in. If that's the case, then that's good. But like, yeah, I got rating updated too. That also happened. When I was in my placements, it said master to challenger. I won 2 placements. I like left and came back and played ranked later, and I was in an emerald to diamond lobby this time, so lower than I was before. Won all of my placements, got placed to like emerald, won my sets, and then it was like, oh, you're too high for this lobby, booted me out, put me into a diamond to master lobby, won all of my sets again, got booted, put into a master to challenger lobby, and I was like, I give up. Like, you put me in this master to challenger lobby for placements anyway, and then I won every match, and then I got put down, and then I won every match again, and then I rating updated, and then I won every match, and I got rating updated again, right? So I was like, oh. But yeah, there's just not enough people for it to work. If it's global matchmaking disguised with like a ranked lobby anyway, then like it's probably fine. But like, this is the problem with doing it this way, because people already don't want to deal with the lobby. So unless the lobby is perfect from the jump, then like people are gonna, they're already ready to fight you. It is weird because casual lobby is awesome and ranked lobby was not, but they're the same thing. It's weird. I don't understand. If functionally it worked and it didn't have all the problems, if you could just get on a cab and play instantly, like I don't care, right? But like, would I take it over just being able to search? I don't know about all that. Also, the online play, dude, you could play people from all over the place. The net play in this game is like, yeah. Watching people play from like France to West Coast USA, and both of them have like 80 ping because they're like connecting to a server in the East Coast. Yeah, I gotta try playing Slash Saudi Arabia to West Coast USA. I'm down. Gameplay stuff. I'll talk about new gameplay stuff, and then we're gonna get into the weeds here a bit. I really like the new system changes in general. Before push block, it cost you 1 meter, and you would push the other person away. But there was a disparity in having meter to push block at the start of the round, and then also your characters have individual meters. Oh, this character can push block 0 times. This character can push block 3 times. That disparity just felt incorrect. Like, it didn't feel that good. The new push block really fits thematically with what the game is doing already. The core of the game has a lot of like, just do some stuff, tag, call an assist, tag, right? When you burst, it brings in your other character, tag. Having a push block that's just, it costs your assist cooldown, and afterwards you do push block, tag. It naturally fits, I think, with the other system mechanics of the game much more cohesively. I think it like has more of an identity that fits with what the game is trying to do. Problem: it has a 3-second cooldown. Way too short. When I went in and played the November build, the one at the arcane thing, I think it was a 6-second cooldown, and I remember thinking it was too short. I cannot begin to tell you, like, I think if it was 10 seconds, I would already be like, this push block's pretty strong. Because when you push block, you're able to act before you tag. So you can push block, put some shit on the screen, tag, and then the other character plays. What are the odds that the other person is going to get past the projectile or hitbox one character put on screen, the thing that your main character is putting on screen, like making it through all of that and then getting back in after neutral? The odds of that not being 3 seconds or more is like pretty low, and then boom, you push block already. Most of what I dealt with was fighting big bodies or big characters, and the gameplay was make my opponent block a normal, they push block, do something that hits the whole screen, like allow ES1's tentacle slam hits like 80% of the screen, tag into another character, and then that character plays neutral for 2 seconds, and then I dodge around all of the giant hitboxes being thrown at me, and I'm like, oh shit, I barely made it around, I navigated, do a jab on block, push block. Far too uninteractive for how the game currently works, especially because in tandem, the other defensive mechanic on block in the game is retreating guard, and retreating guard slides you away from your opponent when they're attacking you, right? So you go, the ways that you beat retreating guard is that it's weak to lows, so you use your low, and most characters have like a slow sweep. So the design philosophy of the game is like, you do light, medium, they're gonna retreating guard to try to get away, go for my big sweep. Because there's a 3-second cooldown on push block, so many times it's like block light, block medium, push block. And if you're using your big slow sweep to now catch my retreating guard, and I push block instead, this big slow sweep that you can't like whiff cancel or anything, it's whiffing the whole screen, and you just, boom, you just kill the other person for it. And you have to like call an assist, try to protect myself because I'm scared that I'm whiffing a huge sweep, be on the back foot and you're blocking and stuff. And now 3 seconds have passed. So the other person has push block again. The tandem of the two is just like far too much to defeat block pressure in a game that already doesn't have very powerful block pressure anyway. There's not a lot of strong stagger options from a lot of the characters, especially up close. And you have to like call out retreating guards so early, like on a jump in or something, unless you're point blank. If your light's gonna whiff on the retreating guard already, you have to like immediately know the retreating guard's coming, dash in and chase the retreating guard, do a button, do a sweep to catch the next retreating guard, but then push blocks up anyway. And like the block pressure just feels so weak because of the tandem of the two. Really like the idea about new push block. I think that it is way too short of a cooldown. Yeah, you also can't hold assist to chase, but I think hold assist was really degenerate. I really dislike it. So you are not going to win me there, but I have other reasons why I think that you don't need it, and I'll get there. The meter gauge has now gone from level 1s and level 2s to level 1s and level 3s. I'm also totally cool with that. And I really like supers while your character is dead. I think that's a really cool way to spend meter with the other character. And it fills the void that push block had previously as a 1-bar option that is not a super. Fury Burst, I also think is very cool. I like the idea of moving Fury away from a fuse and like putting it on Burst. It gives you like dash cancels and solo mix-ups. A lot of the characters in this game feel pretty weak solo. Having assist while dead makes a lot of sense in this game actually. Like characters self-mix is not that powerful, and giving them a dash cancel with Fury Burst also helps improve their self-mix and makes them a lot better. Fury Burst itself, I think, is very frustrating for a bunch of reasons. You start with burst, and so everybody gets hit at the start of the round burst, and like burst gives you very powerful Oki in this game, so you can like throw some stuff and then tag into your other character and then run up on somebody, and then you get the hit on them, and then they burst, and then they tag, and then they, you know, so almost always the two bursts get put off the table right away, right? You want to burst immediately. When your character dies with the new Fury Burst, you build 50% burst gauge, and basically by the time your character dies, you probably will have built the other 50%. So you have 2 bursts around guaranteed. If the round goes really long, sometimes you have 3 bursts around, which is like a lot for a game that's 2 rounds and has 2 characters to kill, right? On top of the better health recovery people have. So like when a character's out, they recover health a lot faster. So they just like live a lot longer. So you like burst immediately, your opponent bursts immediately. When one of your character dies, you get Fury Burst, and then you kill their character, and then they have Fury Burst. So it's just like constant. Fury Burst is not only not baitable, it's plus on block. So I had a time where I launched someone, I jumped, I blocked their Fury Burst, and Fury Burst by default, the activation is plus 20 on block. They landed with a normal and mixed me off of me baiting their burst. That kind of interaction is extremely frustrating and bad for the game, like straight up. I understand the intention of like when I'm on offense, I should be able to pop Fury Burst and then do mix-ups, right? So if I do light, medium, heavy, pop my Fury Burst on you, do like a cross up with the also dash cancel it for a mix. That kind of stuff is really cool. Giving someone a burst and then giving someone a second burst in the same round and then making it so that burst is unbaitable is really bad. It means characters live a long time, and it also is very frustrating. I think like if you're in hit stun and you pop Fury Burst, it should not be plus on block or something. Like, I don't know. There needs to be some way where this is not occurring, because like 2 bursts are in a game already per round on top of the strong defensive options that are currently existent mean that you're going to build even more bursts, which means you're going to have like 4 bursts in 2 rounds and 6 bursts in 3 rounds. I feel like every time I'm interacting with someone, I'm always dealing with bursts. It's always there, right? It's just like far too present. Next problem, the tech rolls. Personally, I don't like tech roll, but I don't mind it that much. And this is where we're going to start to get into the weeds about what my problems with the game are currently. What I thought was the game was going to change from what like Sonic Fox called in a tweet. You probably saw this tweet. Pre-hit mix-ups need a massive buff if defense stays this strong. Not sure how to maintain offense in this game. Now, to give you an example of like an interaction, this is like a pre-hit mix-up. This is the old Echo setup that I'm sure a lot of you remember, where like you would throw Time Winder, and then you could teleport here, and then you could roll through your opponent, and you had like a canned, instantly guess, like see what's gonna happen kind of scenario here. Stuff like this was very, very powerful. They added tech roll, which reduces the power level of pre-hit mix-ups a lot. Like they have a hard knockdown system in the game to enable stuff like this, but interactions outside of that hard knockdown are really weak in terms of like raw Oki that your character is able to do to mix people up. The way I thought this was going to go was that the game would turn into a game that evolves around block pressure. Instead of doing this, when you knock down a character, it's a soft knockdown, they're able to tech roll now. If you just do dash macro and down, and you just go do, your character will follow the roll, and then you get a meaty jab. And then the game was gonna revolve around this meaty jab. You do light, and then medium, and then heavy, and then special, and then call an assist, and then sandwich them, and put your characters like this, and their characters in the middle, right? And then you would mix the character in the middle. You know how Dragon Ball offense is? Dragon Ball is a game where it has a 1 frame reflect, that works on high-low that you can like OS and throws are reactable. So Dragon Ball is a block string pressure game where you have to put your opponent in block stun and then do the mix off of your block stun, because if they're out of block stun, the defensive options are too powerful to create mix that's really that effective. I don't think the game's gonna play like DBFZ. My comparison is just to make you understand what block string style pressure is. You gotta keep up. Pay attention, look at me. Block string offense is what my assumption would be the offense that was good in this version would be. And my team, Echo Yasuo Freestyle, is like the block string offense team where you'd like get to sandwich them and then do overhead low, left, right, the BB tags, like that kind of a mix up. Here's the problem. Push block and retreating guard are so powerful. Block string offense is really weak. I think the pinnacle of what I think about when I think about this game's kind of offense is that kind of like sandwich pressure into tagging and left, right, overhead low and like cool stuff. In fact, I think that it's such an important part about the game that it's one of the only games I can think of where when a character is out, they're not in, you do an overhead and then tag, this move remains an overhead. Like in most games, they would just make this a mid. They'd be like, this is a mid now. We're not gonna make you block this overhead from a move that's like from a tagged out character, right? This game keeps this as an overhead. And I think it's like clear that they want this to be like a thing. This block string offense though is so weak. The way push block works in this current version, it's a 3-second cooldown, as I mentioned many times, but it also is an eject button. It pushes your assist back. If this is the character and your two characters are attacking like this, and you push block, they both get pushed back, the assist and the point character. Now, if your character is here and the two characters are pincering you and you push block, the characters go and they fly back like this. Neither character are a threat. Even more severe to me than this, even if push block gets nerfed, I have a larger problem. I was going and testing this kind of offense because I thought to myself like, well, they nerfed pre like block string offense a lot. Like hard knockdown offense is a lot weaker in the game. Surely the game must revolve around block string offense. So let me find block string offense. So I started messing with sandwiching characters with Yasuo Echo and working on things. The cross-up protection in this game is outrageously babyified. They don't want you to hit the other person so bad. This is your character and Echo is pressuring you here and Yasuo's on this side, right? So he's pulling up and he's smacking you. You tag into Yasuo over here. Even if you're holding towards Echo, you're blocking towards, you're literally holding the stick towards Yasuo, and he's like trying to hit you. If it's still a true block string, then cross-up protection kicks in. Cross-up protection prevents you from being hit by like left, right, instant tag mix-ups. My problem is this. The tag itself is already a screen freeze that tells you to swap your block. And I think it's long enough for most people to react to, but the cross-up protection is really aggressive. If you want to mix someone up, you have to leave a very, very large gap in your pressure. It seems like it's like 4 or 5 frames or something. I don't know what the actual number is, 3, 4, 5. In a game that already has like pretty slow overheads, and timing your pressure to catch fuzzy jump is so hard. So I was trying to like come up with offense that has a big enough gap to not engage with cross-up protection and covers fuzzy jump, and it was so difficult. I don't know what the pre-jump frames are in this game, but it feels extremely small. Trying to like create pressure that abides by both of those things that want, like juggling cross-up protection and trying to make offense that attacks fuzzy jump at the same time was so difficult. You have to do fake offense that like leaves a pretty big gap and then hope that they don't answer it with fuzzy or parry, like one button parry that covers overheads on both sides. When the character gets sandwiched, they should be fucked. I found myself blocking those kinds of situations far too often when it feels like if a character is sandwiched without push block, they should be dead. That should be the ideal goal of the game, is that kind of pressure, because it looks the coolest and it's literally like getting ganked in League of Legends. It's literally like you're in top lane, like why is this idiot walking at me? I'm gonna go fuck him up. And the jungler just jumps out of the bushes and you get sandwiched and they start beating your ass and Warwick's ulting you and just go. That's my spiel about sandwich pressure. I think cross protection is way too strong. And if it means that they have to make the moves that are tagged out not overheads or lows or something, you gotta save the sandwich mix, man. It's the coolest part about the game, and like it needs to be better. They low-key put too many mechanics in this game. No, they just need to tune the mechanics that are in there. I think the mechanics are fine. What I'm describing is cross-up protection, something that exists in like every fighting game, especially every modern games have more aggressive cross-up protection than other games. And overheads and lows. Those are not game mechanics that are complicated that you need to worry about. These are two simple ideas. You can follow along with the current thing I'm talking about, I think. Pre-hit mix, like hard knockdown, left, right, overhead, low, is not that powerful because they nerfed knockdowns and they added roll. And block string pressure is not powerful because cross-up protection is so strong and push block negates it and is on such a short cooldown. How do you hit people in this game? If you watch the Alpha Lab, you probably noticed that the answer was people don't hit each other. They like do a lot of running away and playing neutral. But there are things that are real mix-ups. The first is 2x assist is very powerful in this version. It enables you to do real mix with characters like Ari. It enables you to do real mix-ups with other characters who can like call double assist and then do like falling overhead low and stuff like that. That kind of stuff is real, especially when push block's gone. And strike throw. Strike throw is extremely powerful in this version because the other mix-ups are not that potent, and you could just call an assist, go for a throw, instantly tag. If they jump your throw, your other character covers it. If they get hit by the throw, you combo off the throw, and then you can do whatever. And that was strong before too, but it was less common because the other kinds of mix-ups were really powerful. Let's talk about hard knockdown a little bit. Anytime you do 2 reactions in a combo, 1 ground bounce, 1 wall bounce, 1 slump, 1 wall bounce, 1 ground bounce, 1 slump, right? You do 2 reactions, the second reaction ends the combo. The exception to that is that your other character, your assist character, can tag in and do another reaction. So you can have 3 reactions in a combo, have Yasuo do a wall bounce, you go into Echo, he does a ground bounce, and then you do a slump at the end or something. When one singular character does 2 reactions, that's how it works. So if you do a wall bounce or a ground bounce, and then the second ender is the slump, or you do slump and a slump, you get a hard knockdown. Mid-screen hard knockdown is like plus 30. Really bad. Mid-screen hard knockdown feels, to me, I would rather just not spend the resources almost to do mid-screen hard knockdown. Usually you're spending an assist a lot of times to get mid-screen hard knockdown, and then your character doesn't really have enough mix by themselves to like get anything off that mid-screen hard knockdown. What the fuck am I gonna do alone at plus 30? They're gonna block my jab and push block me. If I spend super to get a mid-screen hard knockdown, then I have my assist for the mix, but again, unless the immediate first hit mix up hits them, I'm gonna get push blocked, and like the mix isn't gonna be that scary probably anyway. So really hard knockdown is inconsequential mid-screen, and I think, to be honest with you, it just needs way more frame advantage to set stuff up, or it just needs to feel better. If you hard knock down someone into the corner, the whole time they're getting hard knocked down, you're actionable. So you can like run in, set stuff up, do stuff while they're like tumbling and then like falling flat. Mid-screen, while they're tumbling and falling flat, your character is doing like a pre-canned run, and that it just is not very good. I need some more juice there. More frame advantage would probably solve this. Corner hard knockdown is sick. It's very powerful. You have a lot of time to set up. Characters like Echo get real solo mix, and I'm sure they'll make other characters who have like set play and stuff like this. The problem though is like there's conditional combo routing to get the good hard knockdowns. I'm fine with that, but they should be more valuable mid-screen, and I think the characters mix-up should be credible enough to justify wanting to spend resources on them. Personally, my plan was to just not hard knockdown mid-screen ever, because my assumption was that block offense would be really powerful. I find myself in like a weird position where like block string offense is not strong, but hard knockdowns mid-screen aren't either. So like mid-screen pressure in its entirety feels very weird. And the only like valuable knockdown was corner, when I have a character that has good mix-ups in, or I still have both assists because I spent like super to get the hard knockdown. There needs to be something going on here. Offense got toned down a little and defense got cranked the fuck up. It's like so powerful. They took a reaction to what people saw in the first test, which is like Sonic Fox hits you, knocks you down, does the Echo Oki, and then you die. And we're like, how do we make mix like this weaker? But then also, how do we make block string offense weaker? But then also, how do we make it so that it's harder to like get hard knockdowns and it costs you more resources, and then not increase the power of solo mix and get people more burst in general? It feels like all of it is like an overcorrection in like each vertical that you could choose to buff defense in. You recover health faster, you get 2 bursts around guaranteed, push block is better, knockdowns are worse. How are you supposed to kill people in this game? I want to come back around. I don't have a problem with the new push block. I think the new push block, the idea behind it thematically is way better than old push block. I just think it's like way too powerful and on way too short of a cooldown for what it is right now. Retreating guard is really hard to chase, because if I commit to something that beats retreating guard, I'm in like a very bad position if they push block me. So that feels like it's such an easy win for the defender on like a resource that's so short. Crosshair protection is really aggressive and like hard to plan offense around. If you want roles to stay strong and be how they are, then you need the hard knockdowns to stay strong, and you need push block and like other defensive mechanics to be weaker to enable offense when these happen. If they want rolls to remain strong and pre-hit mix-ups to be weak, then block string pressure needs to be better. And ideally, the game needs to have both. I think pre-hit mix-ups, like hard knockdown, set play stuff, and block string pressure mix-ups into sandwich left right stuff. Both of these ideals in tandem should be the 2 most powerful ways to mix someone on offense in the game, and they both need to exist. The defensive mechanics and stuff they put in the game, I'm cool with, but the power of them is just far too high, I think, in this version. And I think the offense also just feels teethless. It needs to be more violent. The violence needs to be increased by a lot. The sandbox of the game and like the stuff that you can do, the systems of the games are so fun to engage with. Like doing these double freestyle tag combos, setting up hard knockdowns. All right, I did all that, and now my mix-up is jab. And then they push block me, it feels so bad. Like I want to schmove on people, but I can't because, yeah. This version of the game to me has far better ideas than the first version. I thought the first version was like a bit too samey over and over in a bunch of different ways. This one, I think the combos and stuff that you can do are pretty interesting, and like the enabling hard knockdown and stuff feels like it should be a cool reward. I really, 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 really like the changes that they made to the system, but I really dislike how all of the changes are tuned. The levers are pushed too high in the direction of defense by a lot. Does it actually feel like the game as a project lacks direction, or is that just a repeat talking point for the week? I don't know, because to me, the changes they make seem pretty clear. They did a test and they asked for feedback, and the feedback was we're dying. So they made a bunch of adjustments to like make it so that people die less. And then now the feedback is people aren't dying enough. It seems like what they're trying to do is weaken the like get hit and die aspect of the game that people were frustrated about in a bunch of different ways. And they did it in a bunch of different ways that make sense. But like, to me, it's just a numbers problem and not like a direction problem. The game is designed to be do some stuff tag. Like the characters aren't assist and point. The characters are points. They're together. They're in tandem. Like they're supposed to be equally powerful, coming in and out over and over and over. The game emphasized that by it being you call an assist and you tag. When you burst, your other character comes out to do the burst for you, you tag. So this new push block feels like the direction is much closer to what the game is trying to do, like the identity of the game. And I feel that way about most of the changes. Like you don't have to change any of the mechanics. No mechanics have to change. The numbers on them. Push block has a longer cooldown. Cross of protection is like a smaller window than whatever it is now. You recover less gray health. You don't build as much burst when a character dies. Hard knockdowns mid-screen have more frame advantage. You just tweak all these numbers that instantly make the game feel way better. The thing is, I just spent like an hour and 40 minutes talking about the game. I'm not gonna like buzzword you or anything. I'm just gonna tell you these are the things, and like this is what about each of them I dislike, and like the design choices and stuff. But then like someone just comes in and is like, yeah, the game's got no direction. They just like say something like that, and I'm like, oh, how, like in what way? Like, have you thought about the changes much? To be honest with you, I think there are some people who like tune in and like all they want to know is like, is the game good or bad? Because if I say it's good, I'm a shill. If I say it's bad, then I'm a hater. I don't know. I just thought about it, and like I just have like feedback that reflects that. And I don't think it's a bad thing that I have more complaints this time. When the offense is really, really good and you can do whatever you want, it's like hard to complain. I had people like ask me if I like it more than Strive, and I'm like, I don't think about games that way. Yeah, I don't either, because they all have their own things you like and dislike about them. The reality is everybody has things that they gravitate towards and they enjoy or don't enjoy about each game, and like people just like different things. Like some people might like some things and some people might not like other things. But yeah, that's my crunchy thoughts about pre-hit mix-ups and block string offense, and why both feel bad in the game. Both those things need to be powerful. I think like offense needs to be better in like both ways, like by a lot. Yeah, I'm of the same opinion. I don't know what their plan is next. They said basically like it's going to be playable again at Evo Vegas. I think whatever their big test is needs to be like right after. It should be Evo Vegas public playtest, game is like playable right after, and then it should stay like that until launch is what I think. Because what most people are frustrated about from what I've seen is that they can't play it. Even when streaming or showing the game off, so many people are like, I don't care about this game because I can't play it. And like these kinds of things, you can adjust them and change them later, but like most people just want to play the game. He's a fluffy little dude. He's big chillin' though.